Langston University takes a giant step on their quest for a national championship, bringing on Danny Neville, one of the top NAI coaches in the country, as their associate head coach to join Chris Wright. Cascade Hoops Talk starts right now. Danny Neville built a powerhouse in Jamestown University. They were a standard in Kansas City. They decided to go D2, go to a different direction. Danny Neville now has signed on and is the associate head coach at Langston University, joining Chris Wright. Between these two, Danny Neville and Chris Wright, I don't think there's more Kansas City experience in the country. It's just a huge move and statement by Langston University. Let's take a listen to our conversation with associate head coach at Langston University, Danny Neville. Cascade Hoops Talk, Billy D. Hey, I got Danny Neville, new associate head coach at Langston. Danny, thanks for being on.
Yeah, it's good to be back, man.
Yeah, it is so. It surprised a lot of people. You go over to Langston, which has had a great run, associate head coach. Just talk about how excited you are for this opportunity, and then we'll talk a little bit about what you guys got going on down there in Langston.
Yeah, so in 2021-22, we actually competed against Coach Wright in Talladega in the Sweet 16, and ever since then, ever since playing him, we had a mutual respect for each other, and we kept in contact throughout. Basically since that time, and became pretty good friends, and this summer he gave me a call and talked about this opportunity, and I just kind of thought about it. It's a big move for my wife's from South Dakota, and we're kind of Midwest people, and just for my career and working for somebody like Coach Wright, and what he's done, and the support he gets from Langston University. I just, we just decided it was something that we wanted to do, and now we're here and we're loving it. So,
let's talk about that for you. I was going to talk about this a little bit later, but you mentioned Langston and the leadership there. I know that the president is really involved in the decision making there. He's very hands on. Also, but you and I talked about Danita Rogers, who's the athletic director there. I've been impressed with the job she's done. Talk about your impression of her.
I've met her a few times. I met her on, when I came down here to check things out, and she's unbelievable. Just the support and her personality. You can tell she really cares about not only the university but the people too. And me and my wife actually came down here to check it out, and I'm not even, my wife was impressed with her, and I brought my kids over there the other day to meet her, and she's just such a good person and a great supporter. And again, you ask anybody that knows her, I've heard nothing but great things from everywhere. She was on the national tournament committee last year, and just people rave about her, and obviously meeting her and being around her, you can tell, why. But I've just been super, super impressed with her, and just Langston University.
Yeah, obviously not taken away from anything Coach Wright has done there, but I really, people can go back. I interviewed her in Kansas City last year. I think 15, 20-minute interview. It's on the YouTube. But I think she's kind of the little engine that could. You got to have, this, Danny, you've been around this game long enough. You got to have support and administration to make it all work. And she's the only thing I can say, the only words I can find, she's the real deal. And she has a great basketball background herself.
Yes, she does. And I think the biggest thing with her is you can just tell that she cares about you.
Yeah.
And that is huge, especially in athletics.
So you and your family left Jamestown, North Dakota. Danny, that's a town that really treated you well. You had a lot of success there. Just talk about your time in Jamestown, North Dakota, and what that town's meant to you.
Yeah, I mean, it was my first opportunity at being a head coach, and we had a unbelievable run there, and just the players that we got. I mean, I'm in touch with a lot of those guys still to this day, and just some memories we had there, and obviously it's a little different with them going D2 now. I know they have one more year NAI, but
Yeah.
anytime you're transitioning, you're thinking about the future and Division 2 and all that. But what a run that Jamestown, men's basketball put on the last 6 years, or 4 out of the last 6 years,
Mm-hmm.
making it to at least the Sweet 16. I mean, just just great memories, great friendships that I've developed in the community as well, and it's just crazy to get a start when you're 27 years old and thinking you know everything, and you start and you realize you don't know much. But it's just those awesome memories and being in such a great league in the GPAC, and
Yeah.
just started my career, and
Yeah.
unfortunate how it ended, but now it's time to start a new adventure, and I'm just blessed to be landed at a to land at a spot that's, I mean, top 5 NAI in the country in the last couple of years, and hopefully continue that success as well.
So let's talk about Langston for a minute. You and I were joking before we started. The question that, and you laughed, you said, been asked all the time, two strong willed coaches, two arguably the most successful NAI coaches in the country. You put two strong willed, successful coaches together. Are you going to get fired? You know what I'm saying? Just talk about the relationship between you and Coach Wright.
Yeah, I mean, just saying before that, since we played, we've been in touch. So, we've already developed a friendship before. So it's not like we're, developing it now. I mean, it's a little different now that we're coaching together, but I knew him and I knew the situation. And to be honest, like being a head coach for eight, 8 years, I thought it was pretty cool for me to put myself in a position where, like Coach Wright is intense, and he's an
Mm-hmm.
intense guy, and it gives me an opportunity to kind of step back. And to be honest, I'm excited to not have to not have to be that guy, and kind of have different relationships with players. And
Yeah.
I think a relationship with a head coach is really different. But as an assistant for me, like the guys are going to be coming to me, and it's a change for me. But I don't have a lot of ego, and I understand. He's already, he wins everywhere he goes. So I'm just going to come in and whatever I got to do to help us continue the success. And I don't feel that at all. I've been asked that question as well, and me and Coach have talked about it too. But I'm smart enough to know that I'm gonna have to definitely change how I am. But I'm excited for that. I'm excited to have good relationships with the players, and kind of be that middleman. And
Mm-hmm.
um, but I'm excited. I know that people will talk and say that stuff, but at the end of the day, we're two successful coaches, and we're gonna figure out what works best for us and the team as well.
Danny, at least to me, and you can vouch, I'm definitely no expert, but when I heard the news, I was pretty excited because I know Coach Wright and I know you, and I feel like your skill sets and your approach to the game are both successful, but I believe that they complement each other. You don't have the exact same approach. You don't have, you know what I'm saying? And I think and I can't really explain it, but it just feels to me, knowing both of you, that it's a really good complement with each other. How has your chemistry been up to this point?
I mean, awesome. Just it's kind of cool and unique because we're, obviously, like you said, we come from, different programs, and I think we coach similar, but
Mm-hmm.
he's a big defensive guy, which I'm really excited to learn from him
Oh, you're
on that
kidding.
side. And I'm a big,
You're not gonna play a 2-1-2 and lay back.
no, nope. So, but I'm a big, we've always been big on offense. So it's kind of been cool to, today we sat down and just talked basketball for a little bit, and it's just cool because we've both, both have been head coaches and both been successful. And I mean, shoot, we've played each other, and so it's just cool to learn different things. Even for him, he's an awesome coach, and we're just bouncing ideas off each other, and things that worked for me, things that didn't, different ideas, how he does and what he does and how he operates in the program. I mean, I've been here for a couple of days, and I've already learned a lot. So and then Coach Warren too, he's an assistant as well, and he's been with Coach for a long time, and even him, he's a up and coming coach. He's a hard worker, and so it's been cool to hang out with those guys and gel with those guys.
Danny, I think one of the, and I say this all the time about Langston whenever it comes up because I don't think enough people know it, that they play on Marcus Haynes Court, that's where Marcus Haynes played college basketball. I don't know. I thought that was pretty cool. So talk about the basketball facility there.
Yeah, it's awesome. I mean, the floor is great. I mean, it's a little hot right now compared to where I was, but um,
No snow?
just no. Shoot, that's one thing that will be nice in the winter.
Yeah.
But the facilities are great. The campus is awesome. We're living in Stillwater, where Oklahoma State's at. So when you come from, Coach lives in Guthrie, which is a town like 15 minutes away. When you're coming from the west, and I like to come. There's a little road that comes to Langston when you come from the west. It's a beautiful campus. It's kind of in the middle of nowhere, but it's the facilities are nice, the people are nice. It's just a really good school, a really good community.
When do you guys get students? When are students coming in?
We actually start next week, so we
Oh,
start
wow.
super early. Yeah, so I believe a lot of the freshmen, or if not all of them, are already there, and so the returners and the transfers all come next week. So we're gonna hit the ground running right away. I'm excited to meet the players and develop
Yeah.
relationships with them as well. But it gives us, coming here now, it gives me a good opportunity to kind of work with the coaches and develop even better relationships with them too.
What's the reception been? I know the students aren't there, but what's the reception been for you on campus?
Yeah, I mean, everyone's friendly. For me, just obviously, like, people are kind of into their own thing right now, but once the basketball players start getting around and people start knowing, who the coaches and who the players, I think, people at Langston really get excited about basketball,
Yeah.
and they have good crowds and good support. So I'm super excited about that as well.
Between you and you, we talked about how intense you both are. Between you and Coach Wright, I sat right there and watched that last 40 seconds. And I know you, I know Coach Wright. I mean, something like that just stays with you for a long time. How how hungry are you guys going into this season?
uh Super hungry. I mean, for him, he got to experience, I mean, you saw that championship game, like he got to experience that, and again, like, you can think of it two different ways for him. He's been in the, if you include his last year at Talladega, like
Mm-hmm.
he's been in the national championship 2 out of the last 3 years. So, not very, when you think of it one way, not very many people even get to experience that any year. But you look at it a different way, everybody kind of knows that you can say that they kind of should have won that last game. So, for him and, some of the returners and, even the new guys, like, that's that ultimate goal. And again, you got to get the guys to play. There's a lot of things that have to happen for you to get back into that spot. But, um, for me, like, I didn't coach most of the year last year. So, for me, I'm personally, I'm super hungry, but again, it's not about me. I'm here to hopefully, I can help continue that success, and um, hopefully get to that
Yeah.
next step for Coach Wright, and get him a championship. And the class that we've gotten, I think it kind of puts us right back in that spot. But like I said, there's so many things that have to happen, and you know how it goes
Yeah,
when
absolutely.
get to that point, man. You got to be, those things got to happen the right way, and
Have you have
but
you have you and Coach talked about that the fact that the expectations are going to be through the roof, and you've got to obviously you've got to manage that with you and yourself, right? But you got to manage that with the team as well. Have you and Coach talked about that?
yeah, I mean, for him too, like it's a nervous thing. Like some people, take it as a nervous thing, like, oh, we got to be good again. We're expected to do this and that. But I mean, to be honest, we both come from programs that's an every year thing.
Yeah, that's true.
You're just expected to be good every year, and there's a lot that comes with that. But again, expectations, to me, I think that's a good thing. If you're expected to be good and you're expected to be a top 5 team in the country, I think that's a cool thing. And you just
Yeah,
got to embrace it and work hard, and be like for the players, is be great teammates and show up and do what you're supposed to do every day and have great relationships. And, I think
yeah,
it starts at the top. If, the coaches have great relationships and the players do, and the coaches and players have great relationships, I think, that sets a lot of teams apart from others.
how excited are you to get in the gym?
Oh man,
It's got to be
so
driving you
excited.
crazy, huh?
Shoot, I was got up this morning and got to work super early and was just watching film and stuff, and just so excited to be back.
Hey, that's what I was going to ask you. So, have you had a chance to really look at the conference, and what are your initial thoughts? And don't get yourself in trouble here. But
No, yeah. I mean, the thing about it is, like, we haven't really played any of those. Like, I haven't played any of those teams,
yeah,
and a lot of them I've seen on film, and Nelson, Sagu, the old Sagu. I mean, I got to meet him.
mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah, Delton Deal's a
down,
great guy.
yeah, he is, and again, just I've got to watch him a little bit, their teams a little bit. He does a great job, and but other than that, man, I haven't really, just from film and obviously from success. Like, you got Mac U, Wayland
Yeah,
Baptist, USO. I know he went to Shattering, but I mean, even Texas Wesleyan, you look at their history.
absolutely. Yeah,
So the the conference is loaded, and I'm excited just to see different kind and different style of basketball here in the South, and I'm just excited for it all. But I know that the conference is going to be really really tough again, and again, like, like you said, with expectations, I'm coming from a conference that's really good as well. So it's going to be super similar. It's just going to be a different style of basketball, but I'm excited to experience that and compete against some of the better teams in the country.
So, one last question: have you compared the travel yet? I don't know what's your longest trip in that conference.
I think it's like four-ish.
Oh, really?
So yeah, and the Jeep, when I was at Jamestown, our closest conference was 4.5.
That was your closest, yeah. Wow. So the
So
travel's a little bit better.
yeah, and we're not driving in snow. That might be the biggest thing for me travel wise, is not, man, there's been so many white knuckle drives that I've had at Jamestown that I'm excited. I'm
Oh,
excited
yeah,
about
I
that.
can imagine. Well, Danny, I really appreciate you taking a few minutes. Everybody's excited to see what you guys are going to put together there at Langston. I bet you just can't wait, though, huh?
Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing too is just like you said about, we call her AD, Danita, and like just being around people that are great supporters and want to win and want to do it the right way, and then working for somebody
Absolutely.
like Coach Wright. Like, I mean, I think he's been in the national tournament every year since 17, 18, and just, he's just a awesome coach, and I'm super excited to learn from him, and again, like I said before, I'm excited to work with really really good players too. So just I'm just excited, and I'm gonna do whatever I got to do to help us win games, and I'm just super excited to get back into it. And when when I got the call from you, man, it just brings me back, and just appreciate you too. Just, when I was at Jamestown, we developed an awesome relationship, and shoot, you even came recruiting with me once. So just
Yeah, he's over at
you.
Multnomah now, by the way.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, so I'll see him this season. Yeah.
Yeah. Tell him Ed what's up, and
I definitely
like I
will.
said, good to hear from you again. I just think the job that you do for NAI and just building relationships with coaches, like I think you just do such a great job, and just appreciate you.
Well, that's really nice of you to say, Danny. Well, we'll stay in contact. I won't leave you alone. We'll talk more when we get closer to the season and the season starts. How's that sound? But stay in touch.
Yeah, for sure. I appreciate you, man. Thanks for having me on.
That's Danny Neville. He's the associate head coach at Langston University. They're the Lions. Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Hey, thanks a lot to Danny Neville, and also to Coach Wright for making Danny available. Really looking forward to see what they're going to put together there at Langston. And on Thursday, we're going to have Kevin Williamson. He's the new head coach at Dakota Wesleyan. I think you're going to want to listen to that. New coach in the Corn Palace. This is season 6, episode 1. We're just getting rolling. I'm going to do a couple shows a week for probably a couple weeks. I'm kind of easing into this. I've still got some summer honeydews I got to get done, but we're going to go visit some campuses as well, and we'll be bringing you we're really trying to focus on coaches that have changed positions right now, but look forward to another season. I can't wait for basketball. Hey, this is Billy D, Cascade Hoops Talk. Thank you very much for supporting our podcast. Please like and subscribe. Get out to your local NAI school, because NAI basketball is the best entertainment value in America.